multitude of relatives. During the Jurassic period, between 200 and 145 million years ago, the supercontinent Pangaea opened up, creating separate landmasses. At the edges of this world, China and Siberia formed a huge peninsula with a temperate climate similar to that of modern Europe. The breakup of the continents was accompanied by volcanic eruptions, particularly in China. A paradise in waiting, inhabited by strange creatures, like Anchiornis. Meaning, near bird. This little dinosaur is completely covered in feathers. The size of a modern-day pigeon, Anchiornis is a long-lost relation. The descendants of this lightweight dinosaur survived better than other large theropods, a group that includes all carnivorous dinosaurs. Including Guanlong. They are efficient hunters, 3 meters long and weighing 50 kilograms. To escape, Anchiornis was capable of short gliding flights, while its pursuer was firmly stuck on the ground. And yet, Guanlong also had feathers. What were they used for? Erupting volcanoes spewing fine ash and noxious gases froze a moment of Jurassic life for eternity, helping us answer some of these questions. This dinosaur paradise has become the feathered dinosaurs Pompeii. A huge range of new species has recently been discovered in one of China's many construction sites. Over the last 2 decades, in the Liaoning region, paleontologists have collected thousands of specimens, hidden for millions of years. These magnificent fossils are in a state of almost perfect preservation, thanks to the mixture of extremely fine clay and volcanic ash sediment.
And those volcanic eruptions killed the animal directly and buried their body, so that's why we have some beautiful skeleton and include soft tissue preserved. So that's why we come here.
Paleontologist Xu Xing and his colleagues from around the world can trace the chaotic history of flight and feathers in these rocks.
The feather preservation is really amazing.
Like detectives, they examine the clues to understand what feathers were used for. And discover how some dinosaurs from the theropod family turned, over the course of millions of years, into birds. The first piece of of evidence in their inquiry was discovered at the end of the 19th century in Germany. Towards the end of the Jurassic period, Europe was partly submerged under a shallow body of water called the Tethys Sea. About 150 million years ago, Germany was dotted with tropical islands. Pterosaurs, the first flying vertebrates, have dominated the skies for 80 million years. This is Germanodactylus, one of 150 species of pterosaurs discovered. These flying reptiles are not dinosaurs. A fine skin stretches over their elongated fingers to create leathery wings. This membrane, along with powerful muscles and hollow bones, makes them masters of the skies. Pterosaurs' aerial supremacy is about to be challenged by the very first birds, such as Archaeopteryx. Its fossils were found around the modern German town of Sonoth, a tropical archipelago during the late Jurassic period. Some islands harbored salty lagoons, where dying animals avoided scavengers, and were buried by soft mud that preserved them in minute detail. Eberhard Frey, commonly known as Dino Frey, is the resident expert.
This is the famous Solnhofen laminated limestone, and you can actually see the sediment stapled up like the leaves of a book. And inside the leaves of this rocky book, this is where Archaeopteryx was found together with many other fossils. And it's a speciality of this rock that it is very, very, very fine grained. And inside this mud, fossils are preserved like in a tin.
In 1868, faced with the Archaeopteryx, British biologist Thomas Henry Huxley asserted that this was a transitional fossil between reptiles and birds. Huxley was an expert anatomist, capable of skilled fossil analysis.
Until the year 1861, before Archaeopteryx was discovered, the only creatures that were known to have feathers were the birds. So it was apparent that this is a fossil bird. And Thomas Huxley looked at it very closely, and he discovered signs that this bird could also be a dinosaur, actually a carnivorous dinosaur, and actually shares characters of the two, making it a missing link between dinosaurs and birds. That was a sensation at the time.
The Darwinian idea of natural selection is therefore very recent. Huxley had the insight to see that Archaeopteryx's teeth, clawed wings and bony tail meant that it has similarities with Compsognathus dinosaurs, predatory relations of the velociraptors. Washed up on the shores of the lagoon. It is a godsend for Archaeopteryx. The flies attracted by the carcass provide a hearty meal for this insect eater. But being out in the open is dangerous for Archaeopteryx. An opportunistic,